Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. Today I want to talk to you about feet and foot health and foot physiology, anatomy, and just share with you what I've learned in my life and in my experience. And hopefully this information helps you in your life. If you have ankle or foot pain, knee pain, or back pain, or even neck pain, this information could apply to you in every one of those areas, multiple areas really. So I'm going to take you back several years, actually quite a few years. When I was 17 years old, 16, 17 years old, I worked in a shoe store, and in that shoe store we had all different types of brands, and I learned a lot about feet and just weird things that I wouldn't have expected to learn during that time. And one of the experiences I had during that time is we had this machine that you stood on and you placed your feet on, and it basically read your feet to show how much of an arch you had, and then based on that arch it would recommend a custom insole for you based on if you have more of an arch, it'd give you more of an arch in an insole, or flatter feet, a flatter insole, and so on and so forth. And during this time I got my feet measured on the machine, obviously, and the machine said, get this insole. And one of my managers was there at the time looking at the machine. He said, no, you guys don't know how to read the machine. He should actually have this insole. So I went with what my manager said, and I got this other insole that elevated my feet more, and I have mainly pretty flat feet, but this kind of elevated my arch a little bit, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Didn't think too much of it. I kind of went on with life, and then I eventually got a job reading meters. And while I read meters, I would walk in my shoes every day, which were kind of like just athletic shoes, and I would wear my insoles as well, which my insoles were, once again, elevating my foot to more of an arch, and I would wear these every day. So I would walk probably like 5 miles a day, and I was jumping fences also to get my rots done quicker. And during that time, several months into that job, my knees started to hurt, and I didn't know why, and it just kept going and going and going. And finally, by the time winter came around, it was cold. I hated the job. It was horrible. I got bit by dogs and everything, but my knees were just killing me. Literally every single step I took every single day, both of my knees were in pain, and I just had enough. I quit the job. I didn't give them a 2-week notice. I just went into work and I said, I'm done, because the pain was that frustrating, and I just didn't like the job also. So later on, I kind of realized, looking back, that the shoes I had, which were technically really basketball shoes, were horrible shoes for walking every single day, because first of all, they elevate your heel a little bit, and then the toes were crunched in. And on top of that, I had a pair of insoles that was pushing my feet in a different direction, if you will. I guess you could say a little off balance. And because of that, my knees both hurt, and it kind of shifted my knees kind of like it's hard to describe. Simply put, it shifted my knees, and it was putting them in a bad anatomical state every single day, which caused knee pain every single day. So it was a horrible experience. And interestingly enough, when I worked at that company, that shoe store, they sold multiple brands. It was like a huge shoe store. It was just massive. It was actually the headquarters for a shoe company in my hometown, but that's why it was so big. But interestingly enough, I learned that my favorite pair of shoes at the time was a pair of shoes that was really light. It was made from like really green materials, and when you took the insole out, you could crunch it up and fold it into a ball. And I just remember that pair of shoes and thinking, wow, like these are my favorite shoes, and they're really comfortable. I never had any problems with them. And I actually kept those shoes, and I still have them to this day. They have like a hole in them, and I just keep them because I'm like, I love these shoes, and I just don't really wear them. I'm just like, I don't want to get rid of them because I hope this company eventually comes back out with these shoes, but they haven't. So, but I learned a lot about shoes and insoles and feet. And there's something that I want to share with you, a little lesson. In third world countries, people have what's known as unshod feet. That's UNSHOD. Unshod feet are where they grow up and they're raised without wearing shoes. Because of this, they're walking barefoot, so they're walking on their feet, naturally, like cavemen. And their toes have room to spread out like this. So if you're raised in America, you're in shoes pretty much from day one. Because of that, what your toes do over time, you're born with your toes and they have space, they have room like this, but over time they get crunched together more and more and more like this. And because of that, you actually have less strength and less flexibility in your feet, which means that you're more prone to ankle injuries or rolling your ankle or anything really, any injury. Also, it means it could be causing knee pain, lower back pain. It goes up your entire spine, because when your feet aren't strong and they're not stable and they're not in a healthy shoe that fits with your anatomy and your entire body and really just keeps the anatomy of your feet the way they're supposed to be, it can throw off your entire body. Just like I had horrible knee pain, I learned that the hard way. Thankfully, I don't have knee pain anymore. I did a lot of things for recovery and all these different types of things. But one of the things I learned was that the difference between third world countries where people do not wear shoes, what are known as unshod feet, and shod, S-H-O-D feet, is shod feet. They're raised in shoes, like, most of us probably, and those shoes push our toes together over time and it crunches them together, and there's other effects as well. So there are a few shoe companies out there that create shoes that basically mimic barefoot walking and allow your body and your feet and the anatomy to be fluid in the way that it is created and meant to be. So it's good for your anatomy, your physiology, and it's just made to work with your body in the way that it's supposed to. So introducing a brand that I recently bought shoes from that I want to share with you, because it's one of the only brands out there that creates shoes for two specific purposes. The number one purpose is shoes crunch your toes together like this. These shoes are wider in the front, so it gives your toes more room, so that when you're walking, you can grip the ground more and you have more toe room to develop more toe strength and toe flexibility and foot strength and foot flexibility, which means that your ankles, your knees, your back, everything, your entire physiology is aligned more properly, which means you're less likely to be injured, less likely to be in pain because of that proper form. Physiology follows form, and if you want healthy physiology, you need healthy form. And you can walk barefoot everywhere, which is great, but the problem is if you live in the city or you're walking on the street, there's glass, there's all sorts of sharp objects, and in today's world it's kind of hard not to wear shoes unless you're on a beach or something. But with that being said, there's a company that I recently got 3 pairs of shoes from. I'm about to show you. It's called Lems. Now, this is the first pair of shoes I got. This is basically their walking shoe. It's athletic. It's there's a key difference between these shoes. So first, you can see that the heel is a little bit wider. Like I said, it gives you more room for your toes. And then beyond that, the actual shoe itself is flat here. That's important because when the heel is elevated, most shoes elevate the heel, it's, not like a ton, but even millimeters. That heel elevation throws off your back or your knees or your spine. And what it does is it causes you to walk in an unnatural manner, which causes you to develop unhealthy physiology, unhealthy form, which can lead to knee and back pain. So this pair of shoes is just a walking shoe. I mean, it looks great. As you can see here, I love the shoes. They're really comfortable. They're sleek. They look good. There's multiple colors. And yeah, I just love these pairs of shoes. So that's one pair. Another pair of shoes I got was the Mariner, which is just, like walking, like dock shoes, like if you're going sailing or something. Oh yeah, summer's coming up, and if you live by a lake, it's good to get on the lake. But these are just great walking shoes. They're really comfortable. Once again, the heel, the insole, everything. They're just really comfortable, and they have room for your toes to breathe, as you can see. See? You can see. There's more room there. There's more room for your toes. It's wider and it's flat, so it's not putting your feet off. Now these are probably the coolest boots I've ever seen in my life, literally. They're from Lems. As you can see, they are kind of athletically inclined. They're wide in the front. Once again, there's more toe room there for your toes to spread out, and they are flat. They're completely flat, so they're not elevating your heel, and they're allowing your feet to fall into that natural physiology, that natural form that it needs to be healthy and to have room to develop and grow its own strength and flexibility. So these are their boots. They're amazing. They're just super cool looking. I love these shoes. So once again, that brand is Lems. L-E-M-S, as you can see right there. Their website is lemsshoes.com, and it's one of the only companies out there that creates shoes. They have both men and women's shoes that create shoes that do two things: give your toes more space to spread out, and they're flat, so it's not putting your heel on that incline, which is going to cause potential back pain. So if you do have weak ankles or feet and you know that, you should get a pair of LEM shoes. If you have knee pain or lower back pain or mid back pain or any spinal issues at all whatsoever, it very well could be linked back to the type of shoes that you wear, because you have to think, every time you put on a pair of shoes that pushes your toes together or elevates your heel, or does both, because they all do, literally all brands do, I'm talking Nike, Adidas, Reebok, every brand in the book, these shoes, what they're going to do is they're going to allow your natural physiology to slowly occur over time. Beyond that, when our toes get pushed together, there's something I've talked about before called correct toes, which spread your toes apart. I'll link more information about those below and how you can get free shipping as well. But with these shoes, if you need a pair of shoes or you do have any type of pain, I would highly recommend looking into getting a minimal shoe. Once again, this brand is LEM shoes. I just showed you 3 different pairs. I had like 1 pair of shoes I was wearing pretty much, well 2, like a sandal and just a walking shoe before these. And they were both, one of them was really old, one of them was really cheap and old. And so I just got 3 new pairs of shoes because they're amazing and I want to take care of my physiology and keep my anatomy healthy. So if you're an athlete especially, this is another tip, if you're an athlete and you're wearing shoes that push your toes together and elevate your heel, you have less speed and less ground speed and less foot strength, which means you can't move as quickly. So this is just extremely important. I mean, even for aging, the more you age, the stronger you want your feet and your legs to be, because that is the most important area of strength for aging. Actually, when people fall when they're elderly, they're more likely to die sooner. So if you have stronger feet and stronger legs and everything, your form and your physiology is correct, it's actually a longevity thing. I know it sounds crazy, how could a pair of shoes help you live longer? But if you're wearing the proper shoes your whole life for decades, you're going to have healthier form, healthier physiology, and all these other types of things that benefit you, and you'll have more strength to be on your feet longer. So with that being said, I highly recommend checking out LEM shoes if you need a pair of shoes or if you have any type of pain that's causing any issues. I know this video went on a little bit long. I just wanted to share my story. And like I said, I only wear minimalist shoes that have flat heels and open-toed, like LEMs. I've had another pair before them, but I really like these more. So I definitely recommend to check them out. I'll link up their website below as well as information on correct toes and an article as well. So check out all the information below. If you're on healthywellandfree.com, I'll link to their website. Thanks so much for your time. I hope you get to understand this information further and kind of read some of the information on their website, because they explain the technology, they explain the difference between a LEMS pair of shoe and a regular typical shoe that isn't designed ergonomically for proper anatomy and proper physiology and strength and flexibility and all that kind of stuff. So this is just really interesting to me. I don't know why it's so interesting. It's just really, really interesting. I mean, how a pair of shoes we're wearing can be giving us pain and affecting our health negatively. So with that being said, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for watching. My name is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. Please like, favorite, comment, and share this video below. Check out LEM's shoes, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye.